My name is Honma, founder and general partner of the Incubate Fund. Today, I want to just share some sort of my experience doing the business together with Gumi, is a Japanese gaming company listed in the Tokyo Stock Exchange. And the Pokelabo, which was a mobile gaming company, was bought by the high valuation by one of the Japanese gaming platformer called Gumi. And Inzen Studio is my first company in Singapore to do the business together is in the gaming field. And in this experience, some things I found and experienced I want to share with you. Again, let me introduce Incubate Fund itself as MC kindly made introduce. Actually, we are a bit grown. We are managing 250 million US right now. We are the seed stage, largest seed stage venture capital fund having the operation in Tokyo and Singapore and now in Bangalore. So we made investment in the 200 startups in Tokyo and 20 in Southeast Asia, including Singapore, and now in the 5 in India. And our backer, the investor who invests in our Incubate Fund is a gaming company like Tencent, and Yahoo Japan is the largest media company still, and TV broadcasting company like Fuji Television and the TBS, and also the Sega and the DNA as a gaming company. And the rest of the money coming from the financial institution like Mitsui Sumitomo Banking Group or Nissay Capital and Mitsubishi UFJ as such. In terms of our track record, we had and made several good M&A into the gaming space. Blue Circle is all the mobile gaming company. We made a lot of the investment into the mobile gaming and social gaming company back in 2010 to 12. At that time, there was a huge boom. At the same time, we made a lot, and this type of investment generated a good return for us. The interesting case is Gatebox. It was a virtual reality robot, which was bought by the Line. It's most biggest chat application in Japan. Just counter action against Amazon Echo. Because the Line, for instance, has a lot of the communication data and chat data, and they have the virtual reality home robotics. This was a very good match for the Line to acquire such startups. There was a very good trend. And I will touch upon the M&A, not 100% M&A, but this as a strategic alliance case now by the Inzen Studio with the iCandy Group, which was listed Australian gaming company. And also in terms of the IPO, we have several IPO in this space. In the Blue Circle is a gaming company. I want to share my experience with the 3 cases. The one is a company called Gumi. It's one of the largest mobile gaming company in Japan who has operation in Singapore too. This company was founded in 2009, and the current market cap they have grown to almost 340 million US. I met the founder and CEO of the Gumi in the Hironao Kunimitsu. He was actually very good at just capturing and talking of the big picture of the business trend coming into the future. At that time, back in 2009 and 2012, there was a very, very big shift of the gaming industry from the console to the social game because Facebook opened up their platform, and then the domestic SNS opened up the platform as well. There are many good opportunity for the gaming studio to create a game on this platform. And that's a social gaming boom. And then we saw the smartphone game is just because of the open up of the iPhone and Google Play, iOS and Google Play. He raised funds from the BC and set up the development team and also released a title earlier than the other gaming studio. This was, I really felt, very differentiation factor from the other vendor. That even when the most of the cases, let's say the VR and AR things, everybody talking at VR and AR thing is coming, even in this casual connect, I guess. But still, the very few industry experts just go beyond the discussion stage. Actually making an investment and create a title and release it onto the, let's say, the Oculus. If we limit and select screens these number of people, there must be very few. Then I think I experienced and still believe in if the founder or gaming studio really want to ahead from the other party, the people have to think of the actually try out first than the others. The first thing is why the Gumi was a little bit advanced and just got into the growing process is back in 2010. And also the same thing applied to the international expansions. The Gumi was the first gaming studio who expanded early to Singapore back in 2012, and almost 5 years before. At that time, no Japanese mobile gaming company came to here to set up the business and try to publish the title to the Asia as well as the Western market. This was very different. So I think that this thing led to the big success of the Brave Frontier is some of the title who got ranked in the top 10 in the US App Store in the end. In terms of the exit, it's very simple. In Japan, most gaming studios try to go IPO. They got IPO in Tokyo Mother Stock Exchange in the late December in 2014, and it took almost 7 years to go towards IPO. I'll just explain to you and share the way how the Gumi has grown is during these 7 years, the company had pivoted 2 times in the very drastic change. The Gumi initially operated the mobile SNS on the feature phone. It's a very different business. And then because of the advent of the open platform by the Facebook and the domestic SNS, they pivoted and started creating the social apps on this platform. And then they just switched again to shift their resource to the mobile game developer. Every time they have to convince the investor they will shift their main business, but they did it. So in this type of the decision making might be a bit annoying and harder for the most of the founder, but we have to do. It's just some tips I want to say. And next case is Pokelabo. I'm just one of the co-founders of the Pokelabo. I started this business together with other member back in 2007. And this mobile gaming company was acquired in 2012 for the US almost 180 million US dollars. The Pokelabo is also the mobile gaming company that got early success in the social gaming market on the Japanese feature phone in the 5 years before, 6 years before. Then as the market grows super hot, because many new entrants came to the social gaming field, they faced some sort of a struggle to keep their leading position onto the Japanese feature phones platform. Then that was almost a very challenge. Also, we had a very tough time, actually. The company is a Pokelabo. I remember that they generated a 3 million almost monthly loss at that time. So given that there's a very fierce competition, also that they are losing money 3 million in a month is very tough. Then the management decided the release on the title on the iOS and Google Play on the 2011. At that time, looking back, releasing a title on the iOS and Google Play is normal. It's a very natural thing. But even back in the 5 years, 6 years before, there's no such good core gamer on this platform. The core gamer were on the gaming platform like Glee and the DNA. So it's a very similar structure what we can see in China as a good game title and a good core gaming user is on WeChat. So likewise, there is a very different world or different ecosystem we saw at that, back in the 5 years before. Given that the leading studio, who was very successful on the Japanese feature phone gaming platform, were late to enter into the smartphone game market. These platforms like Glee and DNA. Then the Pokelabo was successfully positioned as the first mover to accumulate the experience of the development the title on the smartphone game, because most of the feature phone game is created by the browser base, but smartphone is application basis. On this one single point, there's a very big difference in terms of development and how we structure the mechanics of the gaming. So then they successfully captured the leading position on a new platform. That was the story. And in terms of exit, if we learn of how the buyer will behave, this might be some of the hint to the founder in the future and the founder here. The Glee, again, is operated the mobile gaming platform in Japan, and they had captured almost a 50% mobile gaming market share. It's a very huge at that time. And the competition with the DNA. So there's two mobile platforms, but even though either part of the world is once they capture 50%, is a very huge business itself. And then there was a type of the situation of the innovator's dilemma like a situation there for the both platform like Glee and the leading social gaming studio on it too. Everybody knows this. The smartphone game will come in the end and getting popular. But most of the gamer and the mobile gamer were still at a previous old-fashioned feature phone-based mobile gaming like Glee. So this was always a gap between. So the director who was the head of the US business of the Glee finally triggered the decision to buy Pokelabo in order to hedge the risk that the Glee was late to come to the smartphone world. This type of innovator's dilemma, I think, will happen or is happening to the good contents provider, gaming studio, to allocate the resource more onto the ongoing business like a smartphone mobile gaming, rather than all the allocate the resource to the more VR and AR and other entertainment coming on the currently just going to just at the beginning to grow. It's always a very tough decision for the buyer always. Okay, finally, I want to touch upon the Inzen Studio. Inzen Studio itself is a very memorable startup to me because I relocated to here 5 years before. And then I made a first investment into the gaming studio. It was Inzen Studio. So that means that I had a lot of the thinking and discussion with the founder, Gerald, is just because of there's no such good cases for the gaming studio get exit in this region yet at that time. So Inzen Studio was a pure gaming studio as far as I understood. Who had a good collaboration with the MIT Gambit program inside the university. And then the company itself was very doing good. But upon the talking with Gerald, is the founder and CEO, he is looking for or almost decided to having the investor to help the Inzen Studio grow. At the time when we firstly met. And in the studio and us and the Incubate Fund had a discussion on how to grow, actually. The answer was, what about to be a publisher, bridging the market between China and Southeast Asia? But given that the Southeast Asian mobile gaming market is a little bit not that big, a little bit small, if we compare with Japan and China. But there's a good studio, there's a good developer out there in Southeast Asia to utilize these type of people and the title to find out the go and publish the title for China first. Then that was our initial talk. And then but even at that time, it was a far bigger challenge to a company because they've not released any substantial title yet in this region as too, and there was no good connection to the key influencer in China. But the company in the Inzen Studio, the many key persons frequently flew to the China since then, and gradually got a good connection, the leading name like Gumi people, and also the Baidu, who made the investment in the studio in the end. But this challenge was, I think it's no one else in this region did a lot at that time. So the company is, of course, is ongoing together with the iCandy group. It's trying to be positioned a gateway for the gaming studio from the Southeast Asia to China, as well as a gaming studio or gaming title from China to Southeast Asia. It's still ongoing. So I'm learning still. Some sort of the exit, iCandy Interactive is a gaming studio based in Singapore and registered in the AGX. It's a little bit tricky, but chairman of the iCandy and Gerald, first we met at the startup conference I organized, is lucky. And also I met the chairman of the iCandy too. That is a very good relationship between, because people all in Singapore and get to close to each other very well, to speak very honest opinion each other. That was a very good start. And iCandy at that time was just listed and still looking for the good executive team and the studio who helped expand the gaming business in Southeast Asia and the global. And likewise, Inzen Studio was looking for the strong business partner with who can more money and the support structure. And the Gerald itself try to maximize let's say, the growth and leverage the capability of the Inzen Studio itself. And both parties could reach on the conclusion that it's better to merge rather than to do the business by themselves alone. I think this is a very good and also the constructive talk between among the gaming studio. So I want to share some tips given the experience through the three cases. First point is let's think about and identify the big shift, such as a new platform coming or the change of the user behavior. It's very, very critical for the entertainment industry, people in the entertainment industry, I believe, and as well as for the founder and for the investor too. And then once we identify the opportunity and shift, then we seriously consider to enter the market at a timing when industry expert or professional or fast mover are just talking, but not initiating the business yet. This is, I think, exactly the right timing to enter this market. Also, this is a market entry point. And third is let's position yourself half step ahead of the others. This is a little bit related to the second point. Then you can take an initial market share in a growing market. Back in let's say some sort of the trend in the smartphone game and the social game. Initially, I think it took less than 500,000 or less than 250,000 to create one single title. But nowadays, in average in Japan, it takes almost 15 to 12 million to create one single mobile gaming title. This is the difference is coming because of the timing or maturity of the market. That's why I really recommend the startup and the founder should try first at the timing where the market is still very premature. Then you can capture the chance to taking a share of the growing market, not the mature market. And also the fourth point is let's talk frequently with the investor and the supporters about the market shift and not about the title itself. Because one of the difference seen in the gaming ecosystem in here and for instance country and the market like Japan and China is there's still have the distance between to the investor and the developer or developer and the publisher. So in this situation, they are a little bit doing an easier play to talk with the founder or investor easily than over the drink as such. But here, we have to be much more connected as a community to help each other and talk what we are doing. But if, for instance, gaming studio just will make a pitch to me in this single title going to be fit or not, I cannot tell, honestly. But if somebody talk to me or like an investor, that there is a big shift or change in the user behavior in, let's say, Indonesia, that might be much interesting discussion we could do together. Yeah. Today, that's the end of my presentations. I hope you will get some takeaway from this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.